Hi, this is Dee at Aloha, Astro, and today we are looking at a full moon in Libra occurring on April 12th, 2025, and it will be at 23 degrees 20 minutes of that cardinal air sign at 8:22 p.m. Eastern Time. So let's take a look at our forecast. Full moon in Libra, Saturday, April 12th, sets the scene for the meeting of star-crossed lovers and awareness of a potentially life-changing relationship decision, or the chance to transcend internal or external limiting conditions, preventing you from pursuing your path and achieving a dream. As the moon in a Venus-ruled air sign associated with relationships, design, diplomacy, and strategy, forms a cardinal T-square aspect pattern with the Sun conjunct Chiron in Aries and Mars in Cancer, a trine aspect with Jupiter in Gemini, which in turn is sextile to the Sun in Chiron, and also forms a Yod aspect pattern with Uranus in Taurus and Venus, Saturn, the North Node, and Mercury, all in Pisces, conjunct Neptune in Aries, increasing your intuitive feeling that fate, fortune, destiny, and luck are nodding in your favor if you allow your heart to lead you. The more challenging it is to have who or what you want now, the stronger your desire and the more determined you may become in your pursuit. A lack of self-love can generate the fear that keeps you from making a bold move. But you can also jeopardize your chance for success in love or money by appearing too eager or enamored. Relax and trust that the love or prosperity you seek is already in your being and consciousness. There is nothing you are not, and what you seek is seeking you. No matter what challenges you face, the Yod, the Pisces planets, the North Node, Neptune in Aries, and Venus coming out of retrograde at this full moon, decree that love can overcome any obstacle, and miracles are the result of clarity and faith. The window of opportunity is opened by a willingness to communicate with honesty, respect, and integrity. So let's take a look at the chart and see what's going on there. We've got that chart of the day, April 11th. Wrong day. Look at that. We want full moon. Full moon in Libra. All right. And there we go. I was looking at it saying, well, wait a minute, where's that Yod? Here's the Yod. We've got the moon with those green dotted lines you see, those quincunxes running down to Uranus in Taurus, which is also a Venus-ruled sign. Venus rules both Taurus and Libra, where the moon is right now. And we also have the quincunx here to form the other leg of the Yod, with Venus, Saturn, North Node, Mercury, and Neptune all conjunct. On top of that, this Pisces Aries cluster and Uranus, which are tied into the moon through that Yod, are part of a greater aspect pattern called a cradle, or I like to call it angel wings, and they sit at the shoulders here. So we have a lot of focus on the Pisces planets, as well as Uranus and Taurus, bringing about the potential for some changes or some luck or bold moves, especially since we have Jupiter right now making a trine to the moon. That's where you're more likely to take the path of taking a risk or a chance, to believe that you will get lucky if you extend yourself and put yourself out there. The cradle also tags these two planets at the tips of, or the edges of the cradle, or the tips of those angel wings. We've got Mars in Cancer, and we've got Pluto in Aquarius, and they are opposing each other now. Just one little note of caution on that aspect. If you do find yourself out and about in large groups, wherever many people gather, do be aware that For some people, this opposition may be exacerbating things that are already uncomfortable in their life. And because both of these planets can be volatile in nature, that this may push some people to act erratically and to act out their feelings, rather than it just being a motivating aspect for most of us to feel the pressure that something should be moving, something should be changing, and we want to overcome whatever resistances there are. That opposition may push some people to an extreme where they act out in ways that are just not socially acceptable. So if your intuition is telling you something to stay home, not go in the crowd, leave a place, disengage from communicating with somebody, then listen to your intuition and do that. It does definitely enhance the primal and instinctual energy, the gut response that you get to things. And the T square here with that Sun and Chiron in Aries, the Moon in Libra, and the Mars in Cancer energy also brings pressure to bear and is very activating. And it will probably push you to take some sort of an action based on your feelings, as well as something that you feel is right or something that is very necessary for you to be accepted for who you are or to live authentically as yourself. So there's some real self-assertion going on in there. And for some people, that could be a test, to really know and find out what's most important to you and to increase your own self-esteem, self-worth, to trust in yourself and what you believe you can accomplish, what you are capable of, what you believe that you deserve. We have a lot of transcendent energy with that yod, as well as lessons that may be karmic or fated in some way, but there can be an understanding at a higher level that is almost like a download for you at this time. And there is the opportunity with Mars, Uranus, the Pisces and Aries planets, and Pluto through the cradle to be functioning at a higher level, to go through transformation and changes for the better. This one aspect here, the black dotted line, sesqui-square between Jupiter in Gemini and Pluto in Aquarius, is an unconscious pull, something that you don't quite have words for, to have more, to be more, to grow, to better yourself, to follow your imagination and ideas, to become bigger and more. And kind of like a nothing ventured, nothing gained type of an energy that is egging you on a little bit, but it's subliminal. This is much more out in front of you, the moon trine to Jupiter, but Jupiter's got that backup from Pluto down here. And then Pluto is engaging very nicely with the rest of that cradle. So self-empowerment is possible. Of course, whenever we do assert ourselves, often there are people who don't want us to change, or they want us to fulfill their expectations, even if it means that we don't get to be who we really want to be, or to be true to ourselves. And the opposition that goes on between the Libra full moon and the Sun in Aries does highlight Aries first house, Mars ruled energy that says I am, and it is about the self. And then Libra is the ruler of the seventh house of one-on-one relationships, and it is about the self and the other relationships, partnerships, whether they are benevolent or whether they are literally your hidden enemy coming to light. But there always is a mirroring effect. And if, let's say, you continually attract the same type of circumstances and people in your life, you have to look at that opposite side of Libra, at the Aries energy, and say, well, how am I creating this? What is it in me that I am not seeing or acknowledging. We also have a freestanding square aspect here between Jupiter and the Pisces planets, and that does create a little bit of either doubt, uncertainty, or caution, because Jupiter wants the growth, and then Saturn, in the conjunction with all these other planets, wants to be a bit more moderate or conservative, or make the excuses, or wait and see how things go. But overall, everything is leaning toward go take that risk or chance, go talk to that person, say what's on your mind, follow your heart. We've got many aspects that show that almost anything is possible. Nothing is impossible to manifest right now. However, not everything is probable, and the overall patterns indicate if it were a weather report, it would be a mostly sunny day with a chance for rain, and you can sit around and wait to see if it's going to rain, or you can go out into the world with your umbrella and stop thinking about the chance of rain. Choose to not sit around and wait for that chance of rain in your life. Look for what's the good in something or someone, and how can you bring more good and improvement into your own personal life and into the world around you with that energy. Let's take a look at the Sabian symbol, and we round up to 24 degrees, a butterfly with a third wing on its left side. Keynote: the ability to develop for inner strengthening new modes of response to basic life situations. The butterfly is the ancient and traditional symbol of the results of the process of spiritual rebirth. If the butterfly has 3 wings instead of 2, a special development of an aspect of the spiritual life is shown. 3 is a symbol of fulfillment. Some power has been added to the normal spiritual life of the individual person. The left side usually refers to the instinctual field of the consciousness, but it is also the heart's side. A new strength is shown, perhaps as yet unrealized. A 4th stage symbol usually refers to some kind of technique or technical achievement. What is implied here is that the contact with the revivifying life force can result in the appearance of a new faculty, the use of which may not as yet be consciously evaluated. Indeed, it is the establishment of such a contact which constitutes a technique for original mutation. Definitely the potential for adapting as well as transforming. New perspective, new ways of seeing things are always a potential. When we have a lot of the air and fire energy going on at the moment as we do, I would say we have a good balance of all our elements. Fire, air, earth, and water. Fire, earth, air, and water. We're not lacking in anything at the moment. And we've got a good balance, equal distribution of planets and angles that are sitting in, or the lunar nodes, cardinal, fixed, and mutable energy, which gives us a splash chart where lots of exchange of energy between planets, some activating or pressure producing, and others that are showing the direction of the ease and flow that we should be directing that activity to. And now that we are past Mercury retrograde and we are coming out of Venus retrograde, and we had Neptune move out of Pisces and into Aries on the 30th, I believe it was, of March, we're picking up some energy, picking up some steam here, and we're ready for something more. We will feel a little more confident in our choices once we have Mercury move back into Aries, which it will do very soon. I believe it's on the 16th of this month that it does that. And then on the last day of this month, Venus will leave Pisces and re-enter Aries. Both of those planets began before their retrogrades in the sign of Aries, slid back into Pisces, which is mutable water, and we lost some of our momentum, or perhaps became confused, or those retrogrades gave us time to perhaps see where we were in denial of things, or where we weren't seeing clearly, where we were under some illusion. And now that they are coming out of retrograde fully and going back into Aries, we will be regaining more clarity and forward motion as we move further into April. So it is an interesting, I would say it's complicated in some ways, but it still affords a great amount of opportunity if you're willing to take it. The picture that I chose for the forecast today, if you're interested, you can go Google the cowherd and the weaver girl, or the love story of, and I have no idea how to pronounce their name, so I won't botch that up. But they represent astronomical stars in the heavens. And I previously had it toggled on. I don't now. Anyway, take a look at their story, because they are lovers that are represented by two stars in the sky, divided by the Milky Way for most of the year. And then once a year at the basically Chinese Valentine's Day, they do join together for a brief time and over a bridge that's supposedly formed across the Milky Way by birds. So it's a lovely story, a folk story about the power of love, being able to overcome just about anything, great distance, and anything else that seems insurmountable. And I do truly feel that if you have the motivation of love behind whatever it is that you wish to achieve, that is where those miracles will come, or the bridge that gets you over and helps you transcend whatever the blockages are that appear to be keeping you from what you desire. But then again, remember that very often it's simply an appearance. And if you change your internal perspective, your outside view can also change. Until next time, 2 weeks from now, when we look at a new moon, stay safe. I am doing a recording of the daily forecast and posting it on YouTube. I am no longer posting my forecast on all the other social media platforms that I was posting on. I'm focusing on just putting it up on my site, putting it on YouTube. You can follow me or come back to my site if you want to check in daily. I write a daily forecast similar to this, Monday through Saturday. Take care and happy full moon in Libra.